Okay, I just want to just show you the marks obtained by the students. Okay, so these are the marks obtained by the student in test 1, 14, 12, 12, 11, like 9. Okay, so I'm just showing, and then I can email to the group leaders. Okay, so average is around 12 and maximum marks are 18 and minimum 6.5. Okay, out of 20. So I'll just share this Excel file with some of your class representatives. Please try to see that. Huh? Okay. Okay. So we were discussing about the two-dimensional 2D heat conduction equation. Okay. So we were solving this case. Now for this case, we have seen what is the truncation order, what is the stability criteria you have. Now with this, yeah. Now we'd like to do the explicit simulation or solution, explicit solution of this problem. Okay, using finite difference method. So we will like to use FTCS scheme, forward in time and central in space. This is explicit. For FTCS is explicit. Okay, so this is explicit. Now we need a boundary conditions also. Okay, so boundary condition to this particular case, we'll consider R like this. So there is a 2D domain. It can be a 2D cylinder, or it can be a 2D just cavity, or it can be a plate, solid plate. Okay. So it is a two-dimensional thing, suppose. So we have the directions. So say we are having, this is y direction and this is x direction. Now here the boundary conditions are given. So one boundary condition given, for example, is 0. Okay, and here the boundary condition given is t is equals to some t naught, and here the boundary condition given is del t del y is equals to 0, and here the boundary condition given is k del t del x plus h t minus t infinity equals to 0. Okay. So with this boundary conditions, we see that we need two boundary condition in x direction. So one boundary condition in x direction, another boundary condition in x direction. We need two because this is second order. So we need one boundary condition in y, one boundary condition in y. Okay, so second two. Also we need initial condition. So initially this t at x comma y and at any time 0 is at this T naught temperature, this same temperature. Okay, and with this temperature, with this boundary condition, this particular problem evolves, and we need to find out the solutions at any other time. What can be the solution at any temperature distribution in this slab or the cavity at any other time? Yeah, Srirag, you want to say something? Okay. So boundary condition, initial condition. So initial condition, given initial condition is t. T is this variable t. T at any space points, but at time is equals to 0. It is initial condition means at time is equals to t is equals to 0. What is the condition? So it is a t naught, some given value. Okay. Now boundary conditions. Boundary conditions. So the left boundary left boundary is varying from j. So this is j is equals to 1 to say j ny minus 1, and I is running from 1 to I equals to nx minus 1. Okay, so nx minus 1 is this last point, and you can have this point. So at x is equals to 0, let me see, at x is equals to 0, x is equals to 0 means this boundary, this vertical boundary. At x is equals to 0 and y y is varying, okay, and y is varying. So x is equals to 0 only and y varying. We have this boundary condition del t by del x is equals to 0, and at x is equals to x is equal to say length of this. Okay, so say you have length L, height also L. Okay, if the length of this object is L, for example, okay, then at x is equals to L, we have this boundary condition K. K is a thermal conductivity, delta dx, plus H is a heat transfer coefficient, and T is any temperature, T minus T infinity equals to 0. This is boundary condition. And at y is equals to 0, y is equals to 0, at y is equals to 0, this is y is equals to 0 plane. So at y is equals to 0, we have T, temperature T is equals to T naught, this boundary condition. And at y is equals to, say this also of length L, so this is also of length L. So at y is equals to L, you have del T del y equals to 0. Okay, so these are the boundary conditions and this is a governing equation. So this is a complete problem. So this is our complete problem. This problem need to be solved using finite difference method. So we'll just use, how do we do it? So initially we'll calculate some delta x. How we can calculate delta x? So delta x is equals to, what are this L? So this is Lx and say this is Ly. So Ly and Lx. So this will be equals to whatever length we have divided by number of points. So how many number of points we have? Maximum nx minus 1 points. So that will give you the 1 delta x. Okay, so total length is suppose 10 meters. 10 meter divided by 100 points. So that will give you what is the delta x you need. Similarly, delta y will be equals to total length in y direction divided by number of grid points in y. So it will be calculated like that. And we know that for this problem, there is a stability limit. So that stability limit, yesterday we have seen. So that step from that stability limits, once we have calculated delta x and delta y, then from that stability limit you can calculate delta t, which has a condition delta t less than 1 to alpha delta x square delta y square and delta x square delta y square sum delta y square. Okay, so substitute this delta x delta y and get the value of delta t by making it equal to and get the values. Okay, so this values delta t delta x, these values you can get. Now for interior domain, so for interior domain we need to discretize, and we already seen, but I'll write interior domain. For interior domain we need a discretization. So for interior domain our discretization was, I'll just write Tij n plus 1 minus Tij n delta t equals to alpha T I plus 1 comma j minus 2 Tij plus Ti minus 1 comma j, and this is for x square. So this is x square, and this is all explicit, so all at known levels. Next it will be Ti j plus 1. minus 2t ij plus t I j minus 1 n n n okay, and this is interior domain for one for I from 1 to from less than nx minus 1, right? Similarly, j. These are last points. These are last points. These are last points. So there is no equal to sign. So excluding this last points, all I points, interior points, okay, and all j interior points, this equation is applicable. Okay. Next is boundary points. Once we have done with a domain, once we have done with this interior domain, we have to look at the boundaries. Okay, we have to look at the boundaries, these boundaries. We have to discretize for a boundaries also. Okay, and that discretization will come from the boundary conditions. So boundaries, boundary points. So what are the boundary points? That we'll have to note. So boundary point, first boundary at y is equals to 0. At y is equals to 0, what it was? T is equals to t naught. So whatever t is there, so that t, and now it is y is equals to fixed value, y is equals to 1. Okay, so y is equals to 1. That is what we are saying from j to like that in that notations, j index. So I ti1 and n plus 1, always n plus 1 is equals to known value t naught. That's it. And this has to be running from this has to be running from your what? So I has to be run. So it is running from 1 to nx minus 1. So you can say like this, I nx. Okay. So like that. Second condition was del t del x 0. Okay, del t del x was 0. So this del t del x equals to 0. How we can do this? Del t del x 0 is that
Excuse me, sir.
left. Yeah.
So this first boundary condition will be run for all I as well as for all n, right?
Yeah, all n. All n.
Okay.
Yeah, all times. So when you're, so that will be a next loop. Okay. But at this moment you have to run for the whole space first at nth level. Okay. Yeah. So this one is this boundary, right? Del t by del x equals to 0. Now to get this, what shall you use, backward difference or forward difference? We'll use forward difference. Okay. So we'll use forward difference. So that is nothing but t. So second point will be there 2 j 2j. Okay. N plus 1 minus t 1j n plus 1. divided by delta x is equals to 0, which also means that T2j n plus 1 T1j is equal to T2j. It is better to write 1 as a second that point. 1j equals to T2j n plus 1. Okay. Okay, this is right. This is 1, this is 1, and this is last point. So similarly, this is 1 point, and second point will be here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. So second point is becoming first point. So T2j minus T1j. So if I have to show in this, suppose we divide this into grids, and I'm assuming that these are all uniform. Okay, by showing in the diagrams, they may not look uniform, but assume that delta x is equals to delta x is same everywhere, delta y is also accordingly same, may not be equals to delta x. So here this is the 1 point. So here this is a point number 1 and this is a point number 2. So this point minus this point, but for all j's. So that is how we have said like that. But for all j, because for all j's we will have to do same thing, 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1, like that. So it has to move for all j. So here we are moving for all j, same condition. Okay, now we'll go for another boundary condition, that is top boundary condition. That is, we have a top del t del y is equals to 0. Now when you are taking del t del y is equals to 0, we have to this condition we have to see here. So when you are taking this, we want to find out this value, we want to find out these values, these boundary values. So to find out these values and use this gradient del t by del y at this point, we have to take these values. Okay, so it is like backward difference. Okay, so it is like backward difference. So that we can write like T I is varying, but ny is fixed. Okay, ny is fixed, and you have n plus 1 minus T I ny minus 1. Okay, n plus 1, that has to be delta y is there. So delta y is equals to 0. So this means that Ti at that last point ny is equals to Ti n y minus 1 n plus 1. Okay, so this is for 1 j ny minus 1, and this is for 0 I nx. Okay, next is fourth boundary condition. Fourth boundary condition is k del t del x plus h t minus t infinity equals to 0. So here we will use this, we want to calculate this dt by dx. So to find out that gradient at these boundaries, to find out that gradient at these boundaries, Okay, this gradient at the, we'll have to take these values, previous grid point values. Okay, so suppose this is nx, we'll have to take ni minus 1. Okay, ni minus 1. So looking at that, we can write like this k, and in the bracket t, we have final values and j are varying, minus t nx minus 1, nx minus 1 comma j is varying, and n plus 1 divided by delta x plus, so this is k delta dt by dx plus h t naught. So h will be known. Okay, h will be known, it is assumed that, and t is nx point, nx comma j, n plus 1, and t infinity is a known value. So h t infinity, this will be a known value, so need not to worry about this t infinity, n plus 1. So this is another equation. This equation, you can, if you would like to simplify, you can simplify this in order to bring this k and h into, because we have these factors, so we can bring in like this k delta x plus h plus h. So this will bring this t nxj together. Okay, and we'll get uh, this x minus 1, nx minus 1, these will be known values. Okay, though it is a n plus 1 value, but it is a previous grid point. So previous grid point will be known value. Similarly here, this previous grid point will be ny minus 1 will be a known value. This known value is assigned as a boundary value. Okay, such a way, that is how. So here this term, I'll take it out, k delta x t nx minus 1 comma whole j, even though it is n plus 1 nx minus 1, so it is a previous point. So previous point in the current iteration, current point will be known value. So k delta x nx minus 1 j plus h t infinity n plus 1. So this is the expression. These are the known values. What you are doing is, unknown is expressed in terms of known. So these are known, these are unknown. Okay. And these are running from 1 j to ny minus 1. Okay. So these are the values. This is the discretization. Okay. If you have to be clear in this discretization, Okay. So in one cases we have started in nx case. In nx case, you remember, you see what we have done is, in nx case we have started from I1 and we have gone to nx. Okay, I mean 0 to nx means 1 to nx minus 1. Okay, and in another case, since these points, we went from this point to this point. So while going for y, we started from this point, because need not to again recopy there. Okay, so at this corners we have two boundary conditions: del t del x is equals to 0 as well as t is equals to t naught at this point. At this corner points, t is equals to t naught and k. Akhil, please switch off your mic. k del t by dx plus h t naught is here also. Here, see here, this point also, we have two boundary conditions. So either you take one for this point, okay, and then other for these points. So that is how we are moving from for boundary conditions. Okay. So for y cases, whenever there is a y case like this, we are moving from 1 to 2 to ny minus 2. This is actually 2 to ny minus 2. Okay, less than, there is no equal to sign. Similarly here also, this is from 2 to ny minus 2. Ny minus 2 is this. This is actually a 2. This is a 2. And this is a ny minus 2. Okay. And this is ny minus 1. Okay, so in that sense, we will have to make change here. In that sense, we will have to make change here, ny minus 1, ny minus 2. So ny minus 1, ny minus 2. So then this is running from 1 to nx minus 1. Okay, you got this? So with respect to that, this is ny minus 1, ny minus 2. So dt by dx, dt by dy. So t ny minus 1 minus t ny minus 2 divided by delta y, divided by delta y, divided by delta y. That has to be there. So this is a boundary point. Okay. And here also with that same notation, nx minus 1. But why you are saying nx minus 1? Nx minus 1 is total number of points. 1 to nx minus 1. Then this also will have to make consistent. Nx minus 1, nx minus 2, nx minus 1, nx minus 1. Excuse me, nx minus 1. And this nx minus 2. And h included. Okay, with this notation, we'll have to, this is nx minus 1.
So that point would be I is equal to nx. That won't that last point be I is equal to nx instead of I is equal to nx minus 1? If no doubling starts to,
We can take that. So suppose we want these many points, 1, 2, 3, yeah. So we can make that. So we can let us make that one. Actually, I was counting from I0 to 1 in terms of C programming. So we can make like that. So I think that will be easier, and that will also get a proper count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we are starting from I1, it will get proper count of the number of points, grid points. Okay, so I think we should start with that. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one we have 6 delta x. So this will have to have nx. We'll have to say this is nx. So this remains, and this then nx ny, and here we can say this is running from this is left boundary, so 1 to nx. So let us make it 1 to nx. So 1 less than equal to nx, and this one ny. So this is y. So this also let us make it equal to. So this will become 2 to. This will become 2 equals to ny minus 1, and this will become 1 less than equal to I nx, right? And this one. So here we'll have to make I y ny. So again we'll come back to
Sir.
the same one. Yeah.
Sir, is nx the number of divisions along the x-axis?
And nx is number of grid points. Okay. So you have 7 grid points, for example. So accordingly that. Okay. Sometimes it may be a cells also. Okay. So suppose, so that is a confusion. I mean, that may lead to confusion. Suppose you want to divide this domain into these many points. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then means nx means 7. But if you want this to be discretized into cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 cells. Okay. So number of cells will be nx minus 1. If you are meant to say nx points, grid points. So number of cells will be nx minus 1. So I was doing it in that sense, but okay, that will lead to problem. So as we are taking these points, that will lead to confusion. It's not a problem. You can start. You can think this as a one cell. You can think this particular as a one cell, like this. Okay, this is called as ghost cell approach. So everything will have a cell, and the grid will actually look bigger than the domain. Will be actually bigger than the previous domain. You understand this? Okay, and its cell center will be this. So there will have a cell centers. So it will be like a cell center here. Okay, but let us not go into that. Okay, let us make it little straight. I was now I think it is clear now, but let us not go into that. Okay, so now it is starting from I1 to nx, I1 to j1 to ny. So simply we have to look at that and go ahead. Okay, so this for interior points means I'll just write for interior points means I'll also remove this in ambiguity here which is present, which might lead to confusion. This will be starting from 2 equals to nx minus 1. This also starting from 2 ny minus 1. Okay, you understand this? 2 nx minus 1 means all these points. This point is this point is suppose this point, these are all interior points. So these points are starting from ij2. What is ij index for this? I is equals to 2, j is equals to 2, right? So 2, and here you see what is the index? I is equals to nx minus 1 and j is equals to 2. So like this, if you go to all the points up to this, all these interior points, they will be running from 2 to in y n minus 1, in x up to nx minus 1, and this final point is nx minus 1th point, I is equals to, and j is equals to ny minus 1 point, isn't it? Yeah. So
Sir,
hmm.
sir, actually T0 is the initial condition, right?
No, these are interior domain. This discretized equation, this PD, we have discretized for interior domain. Okay, whatever the
So
PD
T0 is not the initial condition. You have written it as the initial condition.
right now I haven't done anything, like I am just writing boundary points, na? I haven't written anywhere initial condition. Just I have given a problem. In a problem, I have mentioned that it is an initial condition.
Hmm.
But this governing equation is for you have to discretize the governing equation for I. This is also for I. You have to discretize. So I means all interior points, ij. Now in this case, this is a 2D domain. So these are all ij points. So for all ij means all interior points. This equation is for all interior points, because at boundaries we have given these boundary conditions. PDs are there. This is also one PD for boundary condition. This is another PD for another boundary. This is one. This is another. Okay. So at boundaries they are given. So what we do is we take this PD. We first do for interior domains. So Tij, all Tijs are done. Okay. For interior domains. Now for grid points, boundary points. So at left boundary. So at left boundary where I is varying, I mean bottom boundary this, so j is 1 everywhere here, but I is varying from 1 to nx. So for I varying from 1 to nx, for I varying from 1 to nx, I would have written this ti1 comma 0, where j is 1.
So,
J,
so sir, it's applicable for all time domains. Like I mean, for all n plus ones. Like it's not an initial
yes,
condition at all. It's just a boundary condition.
this is boundary condition. This is boundary condition. Okay.
Okay.
And now I'll write initial condition. Okay, now I'll write initial condition. But there is no discretization for initial condition. If it is there as a kind of initial condition. Okay. What is the initial condition given? T at all ij. T at all ij is equals to T naught. Okay, that is what given. Okay, so this is at initial time, n is equals to 0, at n is equals to 0, and for all ij means I is running from 1 to nx and j is running from 1 to ny. Okay, for all ij initially it is 0. It means that when you have at a time t is equals to 0, I'll just make a diagram here. So suppose you have, now I'm making it a little 3D. So this is your x, this is your y. Now I made the same plate in a 3D, and now this is your time axis. This is your time axis. So at n is equals to 0, initial conditions are given at all the points. Okay, so all the points means all these grid points. At all these points, we know that all these points, even boundary points as well as interior points, all through in all these points, we know the solution at n is equals to 0. Initial conditions are known everywhere. Okay. And what are those? Everywhere it is T naught. But we are calculating for n plus 1. This equation, all these equations are calculated for, we wanted to calculate for n plus 1 with this known values. Okay. So at n plus 1, at any other time, we will be having. So at any other time, excuse me. So at any other time, I mean any other means n plus 1. So at n plus 1, same grid will be there. Okay, that you understand. Okay, now to calculate this point, we are taking the values of this. That is what it is meaning. To calculate this interior point at n plus 1, to calculate the interior point at n plus 1, Tij n plus 1, we are taking nth level values, all nth level values. And these initially, these nth level values will be initial conditions for n plus 1. Okay. So for this n plus 1, these values, nth level values will be taken. This nth level values will be taken. In this case, nth level value is n is equals to 0. Now suppose n plus 2. So when you move to another time, you will have the same thing, but n plus 2. But to calculate the values, suppose I want to calculate this value, we are going to take these values, n plus 1 values. Now these n plus 1 values, when you are calculating n plus 2 values, n plus 1 values will be known. Now here n plus 1 values are already calculated using initial conditions. Okay. Now these new values are changed values. These changed values now are become known values, nth level values. Okay. So first time to start, these initial conditions are important. Okay. Once we get a solution, n plus 1 solution, we can get another n plus 2 solution, n plus 3, n plus 4, n plus 5, n plus 6. Okay. What we have to do is, we have to just simply add n is equals to n plus 1. Okay. If you add n is equals to n plus 1, it will become n plus 2, and this will become n plus 1. This will become n plus 1, this will become n plus 1, n plus 1. Now for second time, n is equals to 2, this will be known values. That is what it means. Are you clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Like all the initial values will be T0, and at y is equal to sir, all the initial values will be T0, as well as at y is equal to 0, all the values will also be T0.
Yes, all the values, all boundary values, everywhere initial condition is same. Everywhere initial condition is same. Okay. And this initial condition is to start the solution. That is how this, see, whenever I am writing boundary conditions, I am never writing n. That is what in the class also, in the beginning, I always said boundary conditions are always at n plus 1. Because at initial conditions, all the boundaries value was also given like the known values. But when I come to n plus 1, suppose I want to maintain boundary condition here, then I am saying at this second n plus 1th level, not at nth level. See, Ti1 at, I am not saying Ti1 at nth level, because at nth level boundary condition, initial conditions are there. So at T n plus 1, that bound you will have to apply. Okay. So for suppose ni t n plus 1, suppose t n plus 1, this t I n minus 1, like that. For that, these interior points will, by values will come into picture. Are you getting?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Hopefully. Okay, so I wanted to make some changes here. Na? So in y and like this. So just to make it more okay, and this is y is running from 1 to nx. Yeah, y I is running from 1 to nx, and here nx and n minus 1 you can keep. So the same thing. So our previous formulation will remain working. So we can write nx and here nx minus 1, and also here nx okay. Anything here? Yeah, nx minus 1. Okay. So now all the necessary discretizations are done. Okay, all the necessary discretizations are done. So we have discrete equation for interior domain, we have discrete equations for boundary points, and initial condition is known. Now how do we proceed? Now we have to see how you can solve this. Okay, so what do you do? So that algorithm, I have to watch the time also. Okay, so let me just finish the algorithm. So algorithm is very simple. For explicit, always algorithm is very simple for explicit. So first thing first is these initial conditions. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to put two for loops. Okay, for I there will be two for loops. Okay, for I running from 1 to nx, right? And similarly it's a another loop. Within that you will have another loop, j is running from 1 to ny. Okay, so for these two cases what you have to do is tij is equals to t naught, tij n is equals to t naught, tij n, nth level values will be t naught. That is one. Then next, so once initial conditions are given, first thing first you have to calculate interior points. So from this equation you calculate calculate t I j n plus 1. Okay, new level values, n plus 1 level values from this equation. Okay, so this is equation A. From equation A. Okay, for calculate for I is equals to these are all interior points. So 2 to nx minus 1 and j is running from 2 to ny minus 1. Okay, all in no, all interior points. Okay, so that will be, so this tij will be calculated for interior points, and once you have calculated interior points you have to calculate boundary points. Why? Because you see, in some cases these interior points are there, and to calculate these boundary points, these interior points become known values. So that is the reason always do boundary calculations after you find out interior points. That is a programming issue. Okay, if you do boundary conditions here and so, then that's a problem. Okay, so here now boundary conditions. So calculate boundary conditions. So calculate PCs. Okay, so first PC you can calculate for I is equals to 1 to nx, 1 to nx, tij, ti1 n is equals to t naught. This is one boundary condition. There is another loop we will use for 2 I j is equals to 2, j is equals to 2 to ny minus 1. You will use this t1j n plus 1 is equals to T2j n plus 1. This T2j n plus 1 will be interior points already calculated here. Then you can have for j for I is running from 1 to nx, then you have to calculate ni ny n plus 1 is equals to ni n ti ny minus 1 n plus 1, and for this last point for j is equals to 2 to ny minus 1, you have this equation. This was k delta x plus h in bracket t nx and j, wherein j n plus 1 is equals to k delta x t nx minus 1 comma j n plus 1, and we had plus h t infinity n plus 1. T infinity also will be known value. So this condition. So once you have done this, what you have to do is, this is you have done for n plus 1. Now you increase n. N is equals to n plus 2. Okay, and repeat. Okay, repeat till 2 2 2 3 4 2 3 4 till you don't have to repeat this first step, because this is only for the beginning. Okay, so for once you have done n plus 2, then you have to just compute. You don't have to reinitialize. Then that is a problem till convergence criteria is met. Okay, so there can be various convergence criteria. What can be the convergence criteria? Steady state can be a convergence. So at steady state, at some steady state, your domain values from the previous values, so there will be no change between the values. So at this n plus 1 and n plus 1 and n plus 2, you will not see any change between these 2 points. Okay, at these values and at these points, there is no change. It means you have reached a steady state. So such a condition you can put, that is convergence criteria, or you can make n some large n. Okay, so till that you can keep on repeating this calculation. You understand that? Do you understand this? Okay. So if you understand this memory map, then it is clear. So in the beginning, so this whatever you are seeing here, this particular loop, this is this one. Okay, and then second is this interior part. So for this interior part, we are doing this second one. Okay, and for boundaries, for these boundaries, this third loop. Okay, and next thing is this fourth one. We are saying that let us go to the next time. But once we go to the next time, again we do 2 interior, 3 boundaries. Then again say we change the n. So we go to another n. We move to another domain. So another n. And then again we calculate the interior points, boundary points. Again we keep on going n till we reach steady state. You understand this algorithm? Can you imagine the algorithm how it is moving? Okay. I hope that you understand how to discretize this one. Okay, how we discretize interior points and how we discretize the boundary points. Okay, if you understand this one, then things will be fine. Okay. Okay, so I'll stop here. In next class, okay, the one thing is, okay, what about tomorrow 5 to 6? Is it okay? Tomorrow 5 to 6, is it okay? Ganpati? Manas?
Yes, it's
Uh,
fine for
ye-
mechanical, sir. I do it.
yeah, but for all others, I mean, production, chemical.
So for mechanical B batch, I guess it's fine, but for other batch, you can confirm with the other batch.
No, but I mean, just let me know, because tomorrow there is a meeting, na? So 1 to 2 there is a meeting. So
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking that we can shift our class from 5 to 6, from 1 to 2 to 5 to 6.
Okay, sir. It should be fine.
Okay. Because I think every classes are, I mean, there are no classes from 5 to 6.
Right.
Yeah, only G slot, and that is also with me only now, isn't it?
Yes.